news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for showers and storms tonight with a low around 52, Saturday cloudy with a high near 63, and Sunday showers with a high near 64.
Warner Stallion's Grill Expo is this weekend. Experts will be cooking on the hottest grills of 2024, and you'll buy at the lowest prices of the year. Relax with free assembly, drop-off, and free no-name meats and seafood. Grill Expo is this weekend only at Warner Stallion.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. He didn't cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega. And this portion of the show is supported by Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon.
Hey, we got a couple things going on, Haley. First, we're going to have our friend State Senator Mary Kunesh on, but later in the show, we're going to have our new friend on.
Yeah, Alissa Pili, who is, just drafted the first round draft for the Minnesota Lynx in our WNBA here in the state of Minnesota. So we're really excited to welcome Alissa home to her home away from home.
Yeah, it was really fun. She is really excited, and I'll tell you, there's a couple other, I saw on Facebook a couple other draft picks that did not get the homecoming that she did, and we're really excited that the state and the Lynx are a class act. So that's really awesome to see. Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh. Welcome as always. It's our fun Friday.
Oh, hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Good to be here with all of you.
Yeah, I don't mean to do this right away, but we had a little controversy going on this past week, and I was wondering, I know you have some updates that you could share with our people out there, and maybe just give a little background, but I know it's hard. Things change, and people are more accepting, and it's just the world turns. But I don't know, State Senator, if you mind updating our listeners on what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So this is a super sensitive, super emotionally charged situation where the Minnesota Historical Society has in their possession, this is just really hard even to say out loud, a noose that is believed to have been used in the mass hanging of the 38 plus Dakota men in Mankato and Prairie Island. One of our Dakota tribes has asked for it to be returned, to be repatriated to them. And there's been a lot of social media out there stating that the Historical Society won't turn it over. They're not going to turn it over. But I have, firsthand assurance from the Historical Society that they are in the process of getting it repatriated back to the tribe. The one problem, the thing is that they just can't put it in a box and hand it over. They have to follow really strict NAGPRA laws. NAGPRA is the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. It's it's a federal law that has been around for maybe 30 plus years, I think, where when a tribe asks or a Native group asks for some of the artifacts to be returned, or if graves have been disturbed or removed, that any of the remains or the funerary items can go back to the tribe. And it's a strict law, and there's a real process, and I don't know what the process is exactly. I have a feeling that it will be more like months rather than years. That goes back to the tribe. But as you said, there's been a lot of social media out there about the Historical Society not refusing or slow walking the return, but I've been assured that that's not the case. And so just wanted to kind of put that out there.
What's the background of this where it was around somebody's neck and they dug him up, or was that the background, or how did they end up with the hanging rope of one of the 38?
I don't know the full facts. I think there've been a couple of different renditions of how that came about to be, that somebody, cut it off the neck of the guy and kept it as a war memento, all kinds of different situations. But I honestly don't know exactly how they were able to, how this came into somebody's possession. But I'm just glad that it's getting back to the Prairie Island Indian community, and that we're able to treat it with the honor and the sacredness and the respect that it deserves.
Yes, absolutely, and that's great. I appreciate that update because I have not been. Well, you're not only a great guest, you are now a reporter of Native Roots Radio. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Well, it's I saw a lot of the social media that was going on. I mean, even nationally, there were people making comments about that, and I did, it was kind of like on my to-do list this past week to look into it, and then I ran into somebody from the Historic Society, and they set me straight. So I was glad to have that information, and when people have been coming to me and asking questions, I can speak with some authority on it. So rest assured, it is in the process. But again, we have to follow those very strict federal laws and make sure that it's going, and we know this will go to the right place, the Prairie Island Band, but that we're following those guidelines, those laws, and it'll be returned to somewhere where it'll be revered with honor.
Yeah. So we also have coming up very soon, and you'll be on next Friday, so we'll be a few days into it, but we have Native American Month here in Minnesota, and we have a big kickoff coming on the 1st.
Yeah, there's lots going on around the Twin Cities, around Minnesota. Minneapolis and St. Paul, but mostly Minneapolis has the largest urban Native population in the States. And so, there's a lot going on when we have these sort of events. And with the kickoff of May 1st of American Indian Month, we are also celebrating the grand opening of our very own Minneapolis American Indian Center. And it's been closed since 2022 for renovations. I'm pleased to say that the state has invested quite a bit into that renovation. The city of Minneapolis, the federal government has put a lot of dollars, and then there have been individual philanthropic places that also have contributed to, I think it's almost over $30 million renovation. And I was there last night for a soft opening. It is so beautiful, Robert and Haley. I can't even tell you. I mean, I walked in that side door, and you all know what that side door is from the parking lot, and you walk into a whole new world. It's
Wow.
just like going through a time warp. And I'm so sorry, I can't think of the gentleman's name who did the prayer yesterday. Was it Steve? Well, he did a beautiful job, and we can talk about it more when we come back.
Yeah, definitely. And see how much of an old pro, former representative and now state senator Mary Kunesh is for Native Roots Radio. She's got the cue and she's bringing us to commercial. Right on. Hey, we're here and it's Fun Friday here, and we love spending it with state senator with all the positive vibes and great insight and also up-to-date news. So, hey, we'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
Stay with us.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. That's 612-373-3333.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
J&S Bean Factory is a Native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Seward Co-op offers convenient grab-and-go options as well as hot bars and salad bars at both the Friendship and our newly remodeled Franklin store. Breakfast items are available daily until 11 a.m. and brunch is served all day every Sunday. Our weekly lunch and dinner menus highlight culinary traditions and cuisines from around the world. We offer vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free items every day. 90% of the ingredients used are from organic, local, and small-scale producers whenever possible. Learn more at seward.coop.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice David from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, we are here with State Senator Mary Kunesh and her grandbabies. So this will be fun, and they're growing up right in front of us. This is really, really fun to see. When we were on commercial break there, it's like one of them said, "Where's Rita? Is that Rita? Where's Rita?" Having a conversation with you.
Yep. This is Sylvie, and she's about a year and a half old, and she's a little under the weather today, so she's kind of clingy, but she's a sweetheart, so I don't mind.
Oh, she is. She is.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so we were talking a little bit about the Indian Center in Minneapolis, the renovations. What else did you see in there? I know the gym's kind of the same, but it's been renovated, and now it's a lot.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful in there. Fresh. You don't have to put buckets down when it rains anymore. A new floor in there as well. There's a beautiful meeting room, really huge, large meeting room, an exercise area for folks to come in and practice healthy habits. The restaurant is back, so there'll be that. And then the center. And I was just saying, when you walk into that side door from the parking lot.
Mhm.
I said, it's like walking through a time warp, because you walk in and you just walk into this beautiful, beautiful center atrium that is, and if you look up, it's like you're in the inside of a drum. Of course, they have the gift shop with the jewelry and that sort of thing in there. And then all those offices and support systems that they've been providing to the community for close to 50 years. And
Wow.
it was interesting to talk to people, because so many of them are like, the lieutenant governor was there and she said, this is where I met the first time I met my dad. And then people started saying, well, this is where I first this or I first that. And I won't tell you who it was, but somebody confessed it was where they had their first kiss behind the bleachers.
That was Dr. Stately, wasn't it?
Oh my
How did you
gosh.
know that?
I think he
Or
said
was
that
it
on our
anything?
show.
Oh, did he really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just a really great. And so many of the leaders of the other organizations were there to celebrate and welcome it. And Senator Smith was there, and Klobuchar, and the mayor. It was just really a lot, and food. The food that came out of the restaurant there was delicious. My sister was in town, my sister Patrice, so she was there.
Nice.
Just a lot of, it was good feeling. It was just, everybody was so happy. Karen Clark, do you know Karen Clark?
Yes.
Former Representative Karen Clark. She fought for the Native community all the decades that she served in the House. And she handed so much of that over to me when she left the House, because I was serving in the House at that time. But I reminded them of the time, like one of the first years I was there, it was a bonding year. And Karen Clark was carrying a bill to get money to the Indian Center, and it wasn't going to be in the bill. And she organized me and Susan Allen, who was the first state rep, Native state rep, Peggy Flanagan, who was a rep then, Jamie Becker-Finn, and me. And we like stood up and said, we will not vote for this bonding bill unless you include this money in there. And it worked. I mean, that was like my first big, like, wow, the power of my vote in my caucus, you know? So it was really lovely to see Karen there. And Mary, you know, is just a phenomenal leader and advocate for the center. And so on May 1st, they'll have their grand opening. And then in the evening, there's a powwow. I think it starts at 5:00.
Yeah.
But I hope I can get over there. We have, we're getting close to the end of our session. And so a lot of our big bills, our omnibus bills, okay. We have to get those off the floor and over to the House and back and forth. So there's lots of work to do before we're done by Memorial Day.
Yeah, and I remember too with Lieutenant Governor and the governor, they started their campaign for running at the Indian Center, if I remember right.
Yep. She mentioned that as well. They announced their candidacy for governor, lieutenant governor at the Indian Center. So, you know, that's a really important thing. And we're talking about AIM. That was one of the original areas for AIM to start their work. And I had to remind I reminded them that my dad has like the original, one of his original cards, and it never expired. It never expires. So I'm thinking that must be something that can be handed down generation to generation. So I like to think of myself as a descendant of an AIM leader.
You're an Aimster gangster. Well,
Aimster gangster. Yes, I love that.
Well, that's you know, Clyde always said, if you think you're AIM, you are AIM. And so I've taken that to heart over the years. And matter of fact, Clyde and his brother were really instrumental in getting the Indian Center and a lot of those things that are on Franklin Avenue, Native American Community Clinic, and all those things. And So it's good to hear and good to see and see that American Indian movement is there with the celebration.
Yeah, I think I didn't see it, but somebody told me that there is a room specifically for AIM in there. And I thought, oh, wouldn't that be cool if we had sort of a historical place within that the center for people to bring photographs and memories and maybe an old AIM card or something like that,
Right.
and just really acknowledge and recognize how invaluable that AIM has been to that community for over 50 years. I mean, even
Right.
before the center was there, they were doing that work, and it
Yeah.
really is a community for the community.
There's I understand too, one of my former students is working there and has been working there, and she said that she'll be teaching media. So that's I sent her
Oh,
a resume, or I sent her a couple examples of I don't even remember what it's called anymore. It's been so long since I've been a teacher. A syllabus uh, on video and film, and so she'll be teaching that. And I hear there's going to be a big area for that too.
who is that?
Misco.
I think I saw her yesterday too. Yeah, I recognized her, and she had some brochures and was doing some recordings of people while we were there. So she's doing the work already.
Yeah, that's awesome. She was a student of mine, and awesome. And she used to do the morning news once or twice a week through the whole school, and there was 2,000 people watching her every day.
Well, I think she was Indian princess of.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
But didn't she go to McAllister as well?
She went to
Oh no, not McAllister, Augsburg.
yes, Augsburg. Yep.
Yeah, Augsburg has the really strong American Indian program there, and so
She's
yeah, it was
been
really great running into her yesterday.
Yeah, she's been on the show many times and also worked for us at the store at when we were in Dayton. She was a manager there, and so she's a doer, and she's their media person now. So she's been doing all the great TikToks and media about what's going on there. And I know they have drum and dance and things like that that are going to be moved back into the center.
Mm-hmm. It'll be so exciting to see all the incredible things that are going to be happening there, provided for the community from, really from pre-birth actually, all the way through, our elders and that sort of thing. Just so important. And I am carrying legislation to get those dollars to do the work. And it's like one of the most important things and most proud things that I've been able to do at the legislature.
Yeah, kudos, and it's definitely known out there in the community of the great work you're doing and collaboration you're doing with all the Native community, all the people in the Native community and organizations, nonprofits. So we got a couple minutes left. What else are you doing? I know all month is going to be very busy, but you're also winding down at the Capitol.
Yep, we are at the stage where we're taking all the bits and pieces of bills and putting them together into one big, what we call an omnibus bill, trying to keep policy separate from finance. I'm the chair of education finance, so I'm looking at the monies that we received and trying to disperse it in the very, very, very best way possible. And this year for Indian country, we're trying to get the 4 BIE Indian schools into the school trust land dollar disbursement. I think we'll get it done this time. That's never happened before. So that'll be a real feather in our cap, shall we say.
Definitely. And so we'll be seeing you around the Twin Cities and during Indian month once things wind down. So that's exciting. And I do believe we only have 30 seconds left. So State Senator, again, thank you so much for coming on and spending some time with us and giving us these great updates.
You bet. Wopilatanka.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. And who's up next, Haley?
Alissa Pili.
Right on. Yay. We'll be right back after this short break.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Gear up for a day of community spirit. Edina Rides for Education invites you to roll into a fun day of biking on Saturday, May 4th, starting at Fred Richards Park. Organized by the Rotary Club of Edina Morningside, they're all about service above self, and they're calling on you to join the ride. Opt for a leisurely 5 or 10-mile route and explore the scenic, car-free bike paths Edina has to offer. And here's the best part. Your ride with Edina Ride supports local educational nonprofits like Edina Give and Go, funding grants for students in need at Edina Public Schools. These funds help students that would be unable to pay fees associated with arts, academics, and athletics. Be a partner in sustaining organizations like Edina Give and Go. Registration is easy at edinarides.com. Take advantage of early bird pricing, just $25 for adults and $15 for kids. So gear up and pedal for a purpose on Saturday, May 4th with Edina Rides for Education. More at edinarides.com.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Now at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, we have new Fireplace Extraordinaire hybrid fireplace inserts.
These wood-burning inserts are made in 2 sizes and 9 different designs to fit your existing fireplace and enhance your home's architecture. They not only feature a big, beautiful fire viewing area, they heat so efficiently that they qualify for a 30% tax credit, which can save you $2,000.
Advancing the art of fire is the motto of Fireplace Extraordinaire. For 30 years, the EPA has certified all wood-burning heaters for clean burning. But these new hybrids add a catalytic combustor. They burn even longer, more efficiently, and cleaner. To design these inserts to work well and look good is Fireplace Extraordinaire's Art of Fire.
At woodlandstoves.com, you can see the many options. Work with the chimney and installation experts. They not only install, but will guide you if you want to install yourself. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood, gas, and electric units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for showers and storms tonight with a low around 52, Saturday cloudy with a high near 63, and Sunday showers with a high near 64.
Warner Stellian's Grill Expo is this weekend. Experts will be cooking on the hottest grills of 2024, and you'll buy at the lowest prices of the year. Relax with free assembly, drop-off, and free no-name meats and seafood. Grill Expo is this weekend only at Warner Stellian.
Annie, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, we are super excited to have our own WNBA #1 pick of the Minnesota Lynx, Alissa Pili, and we are so excited to have you on. Welcome to Native Roots Radio, and welcome to Minnesota.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right on. So we have a wide variety of people listening all over the country, and we're blessed here in Minnesota to have a WNBA team, and we would love to have you talk a little bit about yourself and where you're coming from and who you are. So again, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so I grew up in Alaska. I started off in the small town, Barrow, Alaska, which is the northernmost point. And, it's a small village. And I was surrounded by my native community a lot over there, my Inupiat community. So I grew up at a young age, kind of being surrounded by that. And then we moved to the city, Anchorage, when I was around 8 years old, I think. And we just moved there for more just opportunity and just a bigger city. Our family was growing fast, so we had to get out of that small town. So yeah, I grew up playing all kinds of sports. I have 8 siblings. There's 9 of us. I'm the second oldest, and we all grew up playing sports. It was a part of our lives since we're really young, and we're all competitors. So that's where I get my competitive side from. Even if it's not sports, we're competing against each other and everything. But I'm very family oriented. I was more surrounded by my Polynesian roots just when I moved to Anchorage because a lot of my family was there, and there's a huge Polynesian community in Anchorage and in Alaska. And so, yeah, I was just surrounded by that my whole life. And that's kind of just been the reason why, I'm so proud to kind of share that with the world at, a big stage and just represent my people. But, I come from a state where it's very isolated from the rest of the world. And I'm just grateful for, everything. All the opportunities that led me to this point. And, it was very hard getting out of there and making it to, the pros. So I'm super grateful for my upbringing and things like that.
Right on, from a big family, and you obviously are a role model not only to your family, but what does representation mean to you? I know we're excited because you're representing our BIPOC relatives all over Minnesota, and you come here in a good way. What does that mean to you, being a part of a representation?
It means the world to me. A few years ago, if you would have asked me that, it wouldn't have been as big to me as it is now, just because of, my platform has grown and, my culture has always been a big part of who I am. But I think the last couple of years, I really understood and realized, the impact that I am making, and, that representation of your culture and just for the younger generations is super important because, I have little girls coming up to me after the games and things, and just I can see the inspiration in their faces, and to see that it's just super important for me to do.
Well, we have here in Minnesota the second largest urban Native American population in the country, and so we're really excited to amplify your work and the games and come out there and support you. What do you know about Minnesota Native history? Do you know anything about us groovy Indians here?
I don't know much. I grew up just around Alaska Natives, so that's mostly of what I know.
Well, we're a lot groovier here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And
Alissa, there's no like better time to come to Minnesota and to move here. So I just want to say, welcome from the whole Native Roots crew and to everyone here in the state of Minnesota from all across of our 11 tribal federally recognized tribes here in the state. And it's huge. We have representation, whether that's, state representatives such as Representative Heather Keeler, as well as our Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan, who I know you've had the pleasure of meeting at your surprise welcome. I would love to hear a little bit more about how that went. And Peggy's speech was pretty amazing. Representation matters, and we've got tons of it here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I was super grateful for all of that. Like I said, when I gave my speech there, I was not expecting that at all. So it kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but I came straight from my flight to the arena, and so it was just, I don't know, it's such a surreal feeling when you're at you finally made it to the highest level, and for them to just welcome me like that, it meant a lot to me, especially just with how we've been talking about representation, how that's been a big part of my journey this last year, and them just incorporating that in the welcome that they did, and bringing in the communities that with the cultures that I share. It was just super cool because when I go to new places, I don't know if there's you know Polynesian communities or Native communities out there. So to see that there is, and they just welcome me and are already calling me family, it's super special.
Yeah, and it's really super special for us to have representation. I always tell the lieutenant governor, I used to be a high school teacher, that it's so important for our kids to see you and you on the spotlight of whether it's professional team or politics. It's just so important for our young ones to see, because when I was young, we didn't see it. I remember Sonny, Six Gun Killer, and he was a BA, but that was 1970. So I mean, I just want to say a big Pinigigi thank you for being our number one pick, and that there's integrity. It's not only how you play, but it's who you are when these professional teams pick you. So obviously, Minnesota thinks the Lynx think highly of you, and we're excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and it's an honor to be here. Honestly, like if you would have asked me a few years ago if I would have thought I would have been drafted in the first round, I wouldn't believe you. So, and I've loved it here so far. The coaches are great, the staff and the players. It's really good atmosphere. So I'm really grateful to be here.
Good. We're really glad to hear that. And then also I wanted to mention, again, going back, no place better time to move to Minnesota. We have, American Indian movement was started here in Minneapolis. And, I think there's over 500 tribes of, tribal citizens, let alone just living in our urban communities here in Minnesota. Coming up in May, we have the whole month of May is American Indian Celebration Month here in the Twin Cities and across the state. There's a big kickoff. We're opening our new Minneapolis American Indian Center, which has been a total remodel, rebuild, and we're excited to do the ribbon cutting ceremony, and we would love to invite you to that. And there's a whole month of celebrations, and we'd love to see you out there with community, and we're just excited to welcome you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Maybe the Lynx can get a float for the May 1st and have you ride the float, because I guess there are competitions for a float, which I've never seen before. But hey, so we could get the Lynx out there and you riding on a big Cadillac or something.
That'd be cool. or the car of your choice, Alissa, of course.
I guess that just aged me because I was down with Cadillacs down in the day, but I guess there's nicer cars now. I don't know.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Well, Alissa, I know that you talk about sports and your family has always grown up in sports. Did I hear right that you played football, right? Were you the only girl on a boys football team in elementary school?
Yes, I was. I played with my brother, and my dad was our head coach. And then I had a bunch of my uncles that were just over there helping coach too. So it was super fun.
That's awesome.
What position were you?
I was D-line and O-line.
Heck yeah. Busting some heads. Yep.
Right. Your brother too, he's playing in the NFL, right? Currently, who does he play for?
He plays for the Miami Dolphins right now.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Cool.
We'll have
Wow.
to start cheering for him.
So how does it feel to like being, really not only nationally, representing people, but also your family, coming from a decent sized family? I mean, your siblings, you're still, Alissa, but you're also somebody to look up to. I imagine your younger siblings are like, I want to follow this path of my brother and my sister.
Yeah, really my biggest goal in life is just to impact, everyone who is supporting me and everything like that. But really just my family, just because they've been everything for me, and my siblings, they've been a big part of why I am who I am. So to be able to kind of pave the way for them and just inspire them and make them know that there's, a chance for them to, go big and chase their dreams. And my siblings are, all of us, we're big competitors. So, you have to be good at something in this family. So, there's no weak links. So everybody is, we show a lot of tough love, but at the end of the day, we all, support each other. We all are each other's biggest fans. So, to be that for them and just to represent my family, I'm very proud of who my family is and just everything that we've come from. My dad's family moved from Hawaii to Alaska for better opportunities for jobs and things like that. They didn't have much. Neither of my parents did. So to be able to kind of bring them up here with me, it's really special to me.
Well, this has been really special. We've been with Alissa Pili, our WNBA player, #1 pick this year. We're really excited. We only had a minute left. What are we to look for? Are you underneath? Do you do the sky hook? You're a 3-pointer? What are we going to look for here this year?
Shoot, I'm not even sure yet, but whatever they need me to do, I'm gonna do it. So maybe all the above.
Good answer. Big Pini Gigi, thank you so much for being on. And we will be coming out there and cheering you on here in Native Roots Radio and talking about the WNBA and the Lynx all season. So a big Pini Gigi, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program or TAP is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. That's 612-373-3333.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Howl! The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awakened. This is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Oh! Well, Haley, we've had an awesome show thus far, so it's up to us to either keep it going or totally mess it up. I don't know. It's Fun Fact Friday, and
yeah,
so we have to figure this out.
50-50 shot here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, so we got things happening this weekend. I know one of the things, we have a personal thing. My Weeha, my second daughter, Jelane's having a thing Sunday for her baby, so we have to stop in there.
Yeah.
But there's other things going on.
Oh,
Two.
yes. This is the weekend before we kick off the month of May for American Indian Celebration Month here in Minnesota. And Saturday, we have some fun things going on. This is the Osseo Area Schools Indian Education Wachipi, the 27th annual. This will be Saturday, April 27th at Osseo Middle School, which is 223 93rd Avenue North, Osseo, Minnesota. Grand entries at 1 p.m. We have a senior honoring at 2 p.m. and a feast at 5. The MC for this Osseo Area Schools Indian Education Wachipi is Ricky White. The arena director, Richard Milda, and should be a good one. Otherwise, if you missed that powwow, there is one going on the next day, Sunday, April 28th. This is the Honoring John Bobolink powwow.
Yeah.
Powwow healing in 4 directions. Again, Sunday, April 28th, grand entry, 1 p.m. The feast is at 6. And this one is located at Humboldt High School, which is 30 Baker Street, East St. Paul, Minnesota.
Our Choka or Dega Curtis is a West Sider, and he'll be proud. Maybe we'll see him and get his little dance on over there.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Dega Curtis. But what else? We got a really great. We were talking New Native Theater earlier in the week with your Hinu, Jaleesa McKee.
Yeah.
And New Native Theater, I asked her about some adult workshops going on this summer that they could host, and she didn't have a date at the time, but as of yesterday, New Native Theater did put something out on their social media. This is a casting call for adult actors. Are you interested in doing a theater workshop with New Native Theater in June of 2024? So in a couple months, you can contact them at info@New Native Theater, theater ending in RE.org, or 612-367-7639.
You're newly out of school. Why? There's 2 different spellings for theater.
There is. Yeah. One's more of like I think correctly, it should be the RE at the end. I think that's more of a professional way to spell it. But I know that some people do the ER too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so we have a pick of things to happen. I know we all want to be on alert too nationally. I think next week we're going to hear something about if it's okay for the president to be a murderer and go against his country, or is there some kind of it's hard. I just want to say this real quick about that whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And one of them is just, I'm less concerned. I'm more concerned about who owns the Supreme Court as opposed to who owns TikTok. I guess right now I'm less concerned about who owns TikTok than I am about who owns the Supreme Court. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. It is, a crazy time to be alive in our political world right now. And, one thing we do have to keep paying attention to what's going on with our former presidents and our current one, and keep them responsible for their actions, and, take it day by day.
Yeah,
But the whole TikTok thing is blows my mind too. We're going to ban TikTok before we ban assault rifles, but.
Well, and 2, there's some senators out there that are heavily investing in Meta, and there's one in particular has put over $1 million in stocks because he was one of the people that want to get rid of TikTok. And I think, if you're going to get rid of TikTok, you should get rid of Google and get rid of the other ones too, because they're doing just as much harm, if not more harm, by selling our information. I mean, if my phone microphone's on and I say, I need a nose job. Next thing I get on my phone and there's like all these options about getting a nose job.
Yes, and I myself, and I know many other people, you say your phone's listening to you, and, the ads direct towards exactly what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, goes to show, you're talking about banning TikTok. Well, you might as well ban Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and X. I mean, they all do the same thing. You can still, put your opinion out, a video, a message, and, we have
Right.
every right to do that.
Well, and that's the whole thing that a place like Amazon really didn't care if they made a lot of money on selling products, because what they said is we make money on information on our customers. That's what we really make money on.
Wow.
And so that's always rung in my head when they said that. It's like, well, they all are. And TikTok is one of the things about TikTok. It's not monitored, or I guess edited, and you can have whatever you want content out there within reason. I know there's a lot of keywords you can't say, like murder, and they say
Sure.
unlive and all those things, but
Mhm.
there's so many statistics on how many businesses that need TikTok because of their social presence on that social. I mean, there's 22 million businesses, I heard.
Yeah. Well, not only is it helping people with financial resources, and also just as a Gen Zer who's grown up in social media and has watched social media really emerge as a kid and grow up with it, I can tell you, like, I've learned so much more through the TikTok platform
Mhm.
than any other social media platform I've been on my entire life.
That's
So
a super good point. I follow somebody now. I can't remember what his name is, but he has been doing the whole TikTok versions with people coming in and talking with what's going up in Red Lake. And it's been
yeah.
amazing to follow, because you'll have people come in and that are against Red Lake getting their land back and say, well, I talked to some Indians and they agree with me, and you shouldn't be doing this. It's like, really? Who are they?
Mhm.
It's like, what? But just learning about the history. There's like American Indian Movement TikToks out there. There's a whole bunch. Like you said, I've learned a lot of things
Mhm.
that I've learned accidentally over
Right.
the couple of years, which has been awesome.
Right. And it makes me think back to, well, why would people want to get rid of something that does, make such a big impact? And I think this TikTok and sharing the information and sharing truthful information has made such a difference in the way that how our media is controlled now, and getting the truths out there, and debunking some myths. What do people want to do when they're scared of something? They want to get rid of it. So I think that just goes to show how people
Well,
feel.
and it really, though, Haley, it's follow the money. Like I said, we have politicians buying in Meta, Google stock, because they're getting rid of the competition, because more people are on TikTok than any other social media now. So
Yes. Yeah.
follow the money.
Hmm.
Hmm. Enunciate when you're on the radio.
Yes, sir.
Hey, great show. We made it. It's been a week now. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops. The ground on which we stand on is sacred ground. It is the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, vote, 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 vote. We're still here. We are the seventh generation.
And free Leonard Peltier now.
Tune in for Philosophy Talk, the program